All right, everyone, you may be seated. Does the state waive the call, jury?
State waive.
Defense waive the call? All right, welcome back, folks. Thanks for that break. Detective, you understand you're still under oath, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, you may resume your direct examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. We left off about looking into two Walmart receipts that you received from the residents at 11434 Golden View Lane, one for a transaction with Lisa Guy at 1218 and one for a transaction with an unidentified male at this point at 3:35 p.m. Is that correct?
Correct.
And have you had a chance to review those videos prior to testifying today?
Yes.
At this point, I need to publish the contents of Exhibit 348, being the video on November 26, 2016, with Lisa Guy. Direct your attention to the board there. Is this the same video that you observed on the 26th of November 2016?
It's the same video from the 26th, yes.
And looking at the contents of the shopping cart, are those consistent with the items that were found in the interior of the front door?
Yes, sir, as well as the receipt located in her purse.
Wallet that you're seeing on the screen, is that consistent with the wallet found at the crime scene?
It appears so, yes.
And the purse that you see in the shopping cart, is that consistent with the purse you found at the crime scene?
Yes.
And the physical clothing that this guy is wearing, are those consistent with the clothing that were found on top of the stairs?
Yes.
also obtained video of Miss Lisa God exiting the store on 26th of November 2016.
Yes, following that transaction that we just saw.
Next, I'd like to go through what's been previously entered as State's Exhibit 349, sir. That's the video of, at this point, an unknown individual on November the 26th, 2016. Your Honor, if I could publish that. What are we looking at, sir?
I couldn't hear you, sir.
Is this the video that you viewed?
Yes, sir, it is.
Is that the same individual who made the transaction and produced a receipt at 3:35 p.m.?
It is, sir, and who was later identified as Joel Guy Jr.
And what is the individual who was later identified as Joe Guy Jr. doing in this portion of the video?
He's going through the pharmacy, the sections labeled pharmacy, pain, and nicotine section for their camera purposes, and he's in the first aid section. And yes,
And based on your review of the receipt, are the items that he purchased consistent with items that were found in the upstairs guest bathroom?
they are, sir.
upon your review, how is he paying for this transaction?
He's using cash, sir.
Did you have the occasion to observe Mr. Guy's hands while he was in the store?
On the video, you can see that he has what appears to be bandages covering some type of injury on his right and left hands. And that appears to, that is him exiting the store with the one bag in a buggy. This is footage from the Walmart parking lot. And you'll be able to observe the defendant's vehicle with the Louisiana registration on the back of it, drive through. That does capture it, yes. From that image, we were able to obtain the plate, obviously the plate number for the vehicle.
And who was the plate registered to?
I believe to him, sir.
No, this is previously been in the States did a 240. In the course of your investigation, sir, at some point was a BOLO issued based on the facts you had at the residence, the circumstances you gathered from the family, the sister surviving family, if you will, and the license plate. Were you able to put out a BOLO, sir?
Yes, Be on the Lookout was issued through NCIC, which is a national database, by the Sheriff's Office, detailing the arrest warrant numbers as well as the defendant's description and the vehicle he was known to be operating.
And based on that, did you receive records from Vigilant Solutions?
Yes, sir, we did.
Your Honor, based on a 902 affidavit that we've received and has been approved through the court, we would at this point introduce 5-piece documents that are different in time and date with the defendant's vehicle and license plate number traveling to and from Knoxville, Tennessee, with an accompanying 902 affidavit.
All right, however, defense previous objection, the court is going to receive this as an exhibit number on watchback. Exhibit 642 will be what reports will be based upon an affidavit from the custodian of the records. What's the name of it? Vigilant Solutions. Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you what's been pre-marked as state's exhibits 643 through 647 for identification. and ask you if you can identify those documents, sir.
These are documents produced by Vigilant Solutions detailing a license plate recognition software that has hit on the subject's license plate.
So at this point, we move in State's Exhibits 643 through 47.
Seven.
Just wondering, what was 640D?
That was the affidavit.
Oh, that, okay. Previous objection be 643 through, what was the last one, 647?
647, Your Honor. Ask that this one to publish these.
You may publish.
First exhibit, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's the date on this license plate capture?
The capture is in the top right corner. It says vehicle spotted, and it's going to be for November 29th, 2016 at 7:34 a.m. Central Time.
And the nearest address, sir?
I-59, and I cannot actually see that right in Pachuta.
Is that better, sir?
Yes.
And what state?
Missouri, I believe? Mississippi.
Mississippi?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. The next exhibit. What time and what date is the license plate of Joel Michael Guy Jr.'s vehicle spotted?
That is the same, it's 11/29/16 at 7:04 a.m. Central Time, and the closest location is going to be in Meridian, Mississippi. It's on a highway, 106, Highway 11, and 80.
And the next time the vehicle registered to Joel Michael Guy Jr. was spotted?
11/28/16 at 1:05:31 a.m. Central Time.
And what's the closest?
Heidelberg, Mississippi. Nearest intersection is I-59, County Road 333.
Okay. And next time that and these are in no particular order, the next time that the vehicle registered to Joel Michael Guy Jr. is spotted?
11/28/16 at 12:31:06 a.m. In Meridian, Mississippi. Nearest intersection is I-20 and U.S. Highway 11.
And next is the time where a vehicle registered to Joel Michael Guy Jr. is spotted?
It's 11/23/2016 at 1:29:17 p.m. Central Time in Moselle, Mississippi, on I-59.
The 28th is the first day the Knox County Sheriff's Office responded to 11434 Golden View Lane. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay. On the 29th, sir, were you contacted by Academy Sports?
We were, through the BOLO we had put out, we were given an alert.
And what was the basis of the alert, sir?
Basis of the alert was an attempted firearms purchase at an Academy Sports.
Okay. And by whom, sir?
Joel Michael Guy Jr.
And was the alert subject of the same date, the 29th?
I believe I would have to reference that. I believe so, though. I believe we got it fairly quick. Typically, when people attempt to purchase a firearm at a sporting goods store, you have to fill out paperwork, and that paperwork's submitted, and they do some type of background check to ensure that you can, in fact, purchase a firearm. And I believe that's when the alert came.
Okay. And at this point, based on the circumstance, totality of what you've seen at the scene, the physical evidence at the scene, videos that you observed, has a arrest warrant charging Joel Michael Guy Jr. with first-degree murder been issued?
It had been issued, yes, sir, already prior to the firearms purchase attempt.
And, sir, do you see Joel Michael Guy Jr. present in the courtroom today?
He is here, yes, sir.
If you'd point him out. The record reflects the witness identified Joel Michael Guy Jr.
Very well.
And the events you testified to today, they occur here in Knox County.
They did.
We'll pass the witness round.
Except for the one you said was
Yep, right. Sorry about that.
cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, you mentioned something about the lockbox, the realtor lockbox. Are you familiar with them, how they're taken off and put on?
I know typically that the realtor will place that on, and there's some type of, depending on the type of box, there'll be a code or something to where somebody who can lawfully enter or that would have access to a residence while it's for sale can open that box, obtain a key to the residence, and enter the residence.
Now, going back to when you first arrived at the residence and went to the back door,
Yes, sir.
chemical smells can indicate to an officer danger, right?
They can indicate several things, yes, sir.
But one of them would be danger.
Yes, sir.
For example, a meth lab could be explosive, literally.
It did not smell like a meth lab.
No, but still, chemicals can be explosive in general.
Yes, sir.
And you could not identify what this chemical smell was.
Correct.
Okay. So, additionally, breathing in unknown chemicals can hurt your lung and throat and area, right?
It can.
Okay. So usually as an officer, you would have to take precautions where you smell chemicals, right?
Sir, I would not have masked up or anything to go in per se. In a perfect world, I would have the materials for that, but I'm not equipped with that, and we take risks on a daily basis.
Okay. But at the back door, as you kind of noted in your direct, you did not say anything about the chemical smell
I did not.
or about the heat.
No, I didn't. I don't believe I did.
But you, in addition to yourself, you also had a couple other officers, 3, I guess, who were going in with you, right?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't alert them to the chemical smell.
No, sir.
Now, is it possible that this was a pretty traumatic scene? Is that right?
It is very traumatic, yes.
And is it possible that you did not smell the chemicals until you went in the garage?
Sir, my observations at that time remained the same, and my testimony remains the same.
Okay. That's all.
Peter,
Thank
right?
you.
Thank you, investigator.
Thank you, sir.
All right, folks, it is now 5 o'clock, a few minutes after. Thank you for everything. I appreciate your work. We've got a lot accomplished today. We still have some ways to go. So I'm going to send you home with the same instructions I've given you each time. That is, please do not discuss this case with anyone, family members or friends. Avoid any media coverage of this case, either through TV, radio, internet, or newspaper, and social media as well, too. I know that there is a debate tonight. If you want to watch that, I just encourage you to watch it on some news channel that's not covering local news. You never really know. There could be national news on this. If for some reason a blurb comes up or something on this, hit mute immediately on your TV if you're watching it or if you're listening to it, and stop what it was that you were hearing, and then just let me know in the morning what it was, and we can address it then as well, too. One thing that I didn't tell you that has never happened in 25 years of my being in criminal justice, is if a juror is approached by anybody to talk about this case, you not only don't talk to them, but you let me know about it. So if somebody comes up to you or calls you and say, hey, I want to talk to you about this case, just stop them and then let me know what happened and we can address it. It's never happened before, but we need to give that instruction to folks in case something like that were to happen. One more thing before you leave. There was a time where either a witness said something or an attorney couldn't hear him, and several people raised their hands. I appreciate that. It was really good. I'm assuming, since I didn't see any other hands any other time, that you are all, especially you folks in the back, able to hear and see everything okay. Is that accurate? All right, I see a bunch of heads shaking no. Did anybody miss anything today, you think? You couldn't hear or see? Wonderful. It's working. All right, thanks so much, folks. I want you to take your notebooks with you. We're going to keep them locked up overnight. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Have a good night, folks. Please go with the officers. All right, Mr. Stevens, got an issue, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. A couple of times this afternoon there was a suggestion. It wasn't specific, but there was a suggestion that possibly Mr. Guy has a prior criminal record. And I've talked to the general. The general has agreed to stipulate that he doesn't. I forgot to do that this afternoon before we recessed, but if we could start tomorrow, I'll try to draft some sort of a brief.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Judge, I didn't really intend for that to go that way. I don't know how that happened, and I didn't want to interrupt at the time because but I'm happy to entertain it.
Yeah, I didn't feel like the state was trying to make that inference, and it just got worse on cross-examination. So if the state's willing to stipulate no,
Absolutely.
then I think that's the right way to handle it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mr. Stevens, you will need to remind me tomorrow. I wrote it down, but the odds of me looking
I'll
at
try
that.
to just draft some little one paragraph, something
Yeah,
on it.
that'd be great.
Thank you.
All right, anything else from defense?
Oh, yeah.
Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thanks for your hard work, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So, court stands adjourned until then.